There is reset mochi. That does exist if I played the minigame.
Kind of wish we had gotten some on that first set because...
That would have been great, because I
Yes.
would... This is my problem. She wants to battle, and it's like a symbolic thing. But then I would need the reset mochi. That's kind of the dumb thing here.
Hey, at least they give you an item for that.
Because that's kind of the dumb thing here.
Just do the thing.
Hold on.
You have like 8, I think 8 adamant mints if you were looking for... Yeah, you have 8 fucking adamant mints if that's what you're looking for.
That's too jolly. That's what, yeah. Cause that's the funny thing about, like... Actually, hold on.
Actually, 29. You have 29 and 30 of the speed. If you really fucking want to,
I
you
could
could
straight
use
out Eevee train this thing.
right the fuck
Now!
and just use most of your fucking vitamins. Because it should just be 26 for both.
Yes. Because you get these out of raids, I might do
And then
it.
give it, I guess, 8 health feathers.
Or one of the defenses.
Well, not just the raid. Not just getting shit out of raids. Again, you also have the minigame for the mochi.
The mochi's gonna come in handy, and it's gonna... I might... You know what? Fuck it, I might do that. Hold on. No, damn it.
You clicked give.
Hold on, it's kind of funny though. One second. I meant you... I do that every fucking time. Hold on. Put away.
Hold the vitamin. Muscle form.
Damn
Grass
it.
fighting.
This would be a funny example of just showing a lot of things, but I need to... I do have a lot of those. Wait. Give... Change Fiona back. Because it is like 1 in a million time, and I can show, because I was having this argument with someone where it was one of those streams where the guy, and I do get this, where it's like, oh, without, you know, the, like, hyper training, and, like, no, without the, like, super training, it's, like, so inconvenient, like, they removed the cap. See, yeah, 26 caps, that's attack.
Speed. You did
No,
give again.
I always do that.
26.
Now we need to decide what we're giving.
I always do, and unless I have to put it in a specific stat for another reason, I always do health as the last one. Especially given this thing's stats, health is, I believe, one of its... HP is actually one of its surprisingly other, like, high stats. And the other reason I always do 4 in HP is because it's HP that technically goes to both defenses.
Yeah.
Whereas if you did physical defense...
Well, let me quickly try to look at the... I might do HP, and we'll just let her fight, and I can just show, you know, Eevee training. Might as well, I guess. I have the vitamins, I guess. I guess I'm not really using them. I'm gonna end up grinding a bunch of raids anyway. Special defense is the higher one, so it's defense.
Wait, so the other reason I always just put the last bit into HP is because slightly buffing up the thing's HP bulk that covers for both defenses. Because there are those people that say it's like you put the 4 into special defense. Every time you take a physical hit, those 4 points are wasted. HP technically cushions both defenses.
Technically, but having the 1 extra point, but because of the way damage calcs work. No, this is the dumb part about the way damage calcs work in Pokemon. It's the ballooning problem. The defense and special defense are calced before the HP.
Yes, but in this specific context, it's level 70, so you're at you're close to level 100. You don't have the stats being kneecapped at 50. Health feathers at the top if you're.
I might just do HP.
What will you use it on?
It almost doesn't matter, but it's just the weird way that.
And then. Yeah, 6.
Fuck it. Fuck it. We'll just. Not what I was intending to do.
Yeah, okay, now fight her.
And then we can just end off. I have the items. Fuck it. I'll just do HP. If I really want to, I can reset it later.
Yes.
Okay, this is a good example of the freaking power of Eevee training. I might as well. I'll just bottle cap it later because I have perfect attack and speed. That'll be a good way to end off because we're going a little past 4 hours. And I got to show the vitamin thing. I might as well.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I was like, fuck it. We'll just Eevee train. It's fine. I have perfect attack and perfect speed. My defenses aren't perfect, but I've literally Eevee trained. So
and you also ironically have perfect HP. And this is the one time Defiant would be good. Breaking the mold.
Okay. Swap her back in a minute. Yeah, that is the one niece time Defiant would have been good. Because I would have gained attack.
You know, the funny thing is that almost feels intentional. It almost feels like they gave her Miana for that scenario. Because if you just use it without touching any... Because if you just use it without touching
Crit.
anything...
Critical hit came out of nowhere! Could have sworn it was going to be a regular hit.
I love how even the game's like, that's bullshit.
Okay.
Again, my favorite will always be Hop. Beginner's Luck.
More Peko. Now I can be big annoying.
Yeah.
Because even though it's level 70, I have Eevee training.
And you also have Spiky Shield, so because I believe her Morpeko has a focus, Sash, you could actually Spiky Shield, or Will is a physical contact move, so it should take chip damage from this.
Should take chip damage from everything.
Lash Out is, I think, also physical contact. Let's see, is it?
Yep.
Yep, okay.
I get to show off the...
And they have the new animation of it holds its stomach because it's hungry, and then it eats.
Bang! And I crit. Fiona.
Mrs. Fiona Charming.
Ninetales.
Ooh. Ooh.
Do I want to stay in?
You would be neutral. You would be neutral, and you could literally see if the, No, it didn't set up the sun. Shit. Or you technically could Terrestrial into fire so that it is a pure resisted hit, and then hit it with a really cracked out.
I would also gain the attack.
True enough.
Hold on. Time to bludgeon him, man. You wanted to battle Fiona?
Also, because, you know, it becomes fire, that means when this thing terrestrials, it can't burn. It can't be burned. Again, this is the best form.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Though, that does also confirm the...
Yeah, okay. It's fine.
But that was the flash fire boosted.
Give me my health back.
That's half health off a mother... That is half health off a motherfucking resisted hit. BB damage.
Give me my health back!
Though, again, that does confirm when you do to
No, well, this was a good example of,
because that's actually a funny thing.
I forgot about the flash fire, but I think
But if we hadn't terrestrialed, we would have... I still think that is good because we have the...
No, I think we're better off because I had the...
We were probably going to end up doing this anyway because we have the attack buff. And you're actually beaten by fire.
It's a good thematic way to...
And you ain't living this. You ain't
The
living
balcony!
that, son.
The balcony! This is the power of Eevee training.
Yes.
I maxed out her fucking attack.
And not just maxed out the attack.
Mrs. Fiona's armor.
The attack stat was perfect.
Yeah.
It was a 31.
But, oh.
We win.
Oh, you poor
Oh, you sweet
summer child. Bludgeon her. Okay, I'm glad we did this. This is chronic amounts of it. Yep. It is what it is. Yeah, and she leveled. Nice. Trying to wrap up because it's over 4 hours. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. We can just Eevee train. That's a good example of Eevee training.
Mm-hmm.
Good girl, Fiona.
Pon.
Fiona, because Green Ogre. Rototototo. Yeah. Okay. Looks like one last thing. We're a little bit over 4 hours, but like, it's fine.
We've done that before in other things. As long as it's like 10 minutes over like 4 hours, we'll be fine.
Yeah. I didn't think I would Eevee train this thing. Whatever. Okay, joking aside, though, this was a good test of, like, multiple things I was unsure about, and that confirmed
Now, while Ivy Cudgel is, because of the way this shit works, while that move is good to have as the other types, one small problem I do have with this thing is you basically do not learn any other moves of those types. Which, is kind of unfortunate. I feel like you could have at least given it one, but then again, because of Ivy Cudgel being the, 100 power, even if it could learn, like, Liquidation and Stone Edge and shit, I still think Ivy Cudgel is better because it's way more consistent than all that other crap. It is on average...
It's 100 power, 100 accuracy with a high critical hit rate.
So, comparing it to the physical options of the other moves, it is way higher powered and way more consistent. The only two things that could have maybe been better under certain circumstances, especially because you have Horn Leech, is if the fire and water forms got Wave Crash and Flare Blitz, so you could have a big fuck-off recoil move and then get your health back.
If you're doing the Eevee training thing and you want to really just steamroll her with just the Eevee training, don't put the Fire Mask on. just use the tail mask.
Yeah.
Let the intimidate, drop your attack, but you have defiant, so you'll go from, like, you know, minus to neutral to +1.
Yeah.
And then you can club a couple of things over the head. What'd you set? Yeah.
However.
Yeah. But why? Yeah. The only reason I extended this recording is just to end off.
I also, on some level, do kind of wish it was able to get moves of the other type so that you could have, like, you know, grass, like, water, or grass, fire was, like, water or fire coverage, but then again, it's one of those that may have been too powerful.
Well, regardless, the thing is, even with, you know, the small break in the Eevee training, that was a good example of why Eevee training is bullshit.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck it. That way, because I didn't want bad Eevees, but it's just like, screw it, I'll just use my vitamins and everything. If I really want to tweak it later, I can tweak it with the Mochi, but for now, I'll just leave. Good enough, and we got to show some stuff.
Though again, unless people start to create some really dumb bullshit sets, I feel like the fire one, and it was out a mask because that...
Fire and grass, I think, are the best. Fire, I was leaning to because Mold Breaker is ridiculous. Because it's a fire type with Mold Breaker.
Yeah.
People bitch about Heatran and, like, Armorogue with Flash Fire.
So you just tell them no.
That literally fixes your problem.
Yes. Though, like I said, and I will admit I did realize this later, to be fair, the water one, having water absorb, does let it actually serve as an possibly okay-ish Dondozo counter, because Dondozo cannot hit you with any of its water moves. If it's running Earthquake, you also resist that. Any water moves that hit you with, you will heal off of, and you can just keep draining off of it with Horn Leech. So that could potentially be a counter to that, but because of...
Even if this isn't the complete end, I'm definitely stopping.
To be continued.
Okay. It's what Sword and Shield did. That's fine.
Yes.
That's a good stopping point. Like, 17 minutes over. Fuck it, I Eevee trained Fiona! Best nickname, because she's an ogre.
Yeah.
It's Ogre Pun.
And Suddenly Night. That was jarring.
My girl!
Okay, we need to stop now.
Thanks, Fiona. No, we can stop now.
Look at those stats.
Wait, hold on. Actually, I do want to... Yeah. Okay. Okay, I'm glad I did what I did. This is the power of Eevee training. It was worth using the vitamins, but with all that said, this has basically been the DLC from my end for, like, doing Till Mass stuff. Carson's gonna do his own recording. If I do any other recordings, it'll be doing a couple of the other, like, catching the legendaries, because you can go catch the other trio, doing some other grinding, because I never did certain things in the main game, some more casual chaos, but all of that can come later. It has been like 30 minutes over. Might record one or two of the post-game fights later, and I might cap Fiona's level, but for now, that was a fun little thing. Basically did it in 2 recordings, because the first one was like an hour, and then this was our normal like 4.5-ish. But I hope you all enjoyed the Tail Mask from me. next time will be Carson. Well, I say next time. Carson's Let's Play is different from mine. So technically, next time for me, other than some cleanup in this DLC, is going to be the Indigo Disc. So I hope you all enjoyed my Teal Mask footage. So, as always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, everybody. I hope you'll come back someday. See you later. It's time for the question of the day and my overall thoughts on the topic. So, anyway, how many of you get the point I was trying to make about EV training? I know a lot of people don't EV train, but if you do dabble in EV training, I'm sure you know what I was talking about, because it's a weird, contentious point with how Pokemon calculates damage. And this is a point that I've tried to explain to a lot of people so that they could EV train a bit better. But I've had a lot of people yell at me saying this point doesn't matter, but this point does matter, and it matters a lot more than people make it out to be. So anyway, in order to make my point, I need to quickly explain how Pokemon calculates damage. Otherwise, my point would be really confusing. Basically, when you take damage in Pokemon, the game checks if that damage is physical or special, and then the game checks how high your physical or special defense is, and then it runs other calculations, like if a move is super effective, if it's not super effective, if your Pokemon's ability is reducing damage, adding to damage. It basically runs all these calculations, but the main calculation that it uses to determine how much HP you lose is the calculation of your current defense or special defense versus the damage of the move that just hit you, meaning most of the damage reduction is entirely done by your defense or special defense. So if you have a lot of HP, but your defense or special defense is low, it doesn't really matter how much HP you have, because a bulk of the damage you take will not be negated by your bad defense or special defense. So this basically means, in a lot of cases, it's far better to invest in your defense and or special defense before you invest in your HP. But if a Pokemon has a low HP stat, heavily investing in your HP at that point is fine, because the stat is naturally low, meaning the stat needs a lot more investment to actually become a decent number. But HP in general has a ballooning problem, where after a certain point you have a very high number, but the return on investment basically drops off a cliff, and it doesn't matter how high that number is if your defense and or special defense are so low that they basically can't stop that number from dropping rapidly. So, if a Pokemon naturally has a high base HP, it is almost always better to heavily invest in that Pokemon's defense and or special defense on your sets before you invest in that Pokemon's HP, because, like I said, you can have all the HP in the world, but that number is basically pointless when your defenses are low. I tried to explain that to someone training in Ursaluna for raids, where they basically only invested in attack and HP. And I said all that HP is kind of a waste because Ursaluna has a really high base HP and its base defense and special defense are really decent. And I said you should invest more heavily in those stats because you will, on average, take less damage. But they got annoyed and huffy and basically said, "Oh, this is a raid, Ursaluna. It doesn't matter if I invest only in HP and attack. It's 4 raids. Why do I need defense and special defense on a raid set? This is the belly drum set everyone uses in raids. It's fine. I don't need to make any adjustments." And I'm like, dude, you're going to take more damage. It doesn't matter. Even though it does matter, because a high level raid could easily destroy you, especially if you're setting up belly drum, because you're going to get rid of most of your HP, and basically that means the HP that's left over is going to be super easy to drain in mass, because belly drum takes half your max HP, and even with your HP being incredibly high because you're investing only in HP, all that HP is worthless when your defense and special defense are basically untouched, because I feel like those stats on an Ursaluna need a good investment in order to actually be usable in a way that doesn't just balloon out your HP stat for no reason. And the Ursaluna I use in Trick Room has a heavy investment in defense and special defense without a lot of investment in HP, but on average, he generally takes less damage than he would if I had invested only in his HP stat, because the HP stat doesn't really protect you in the way that you think it would. So even in a raid, I still think a lower HP Ursaluna with heavy investment in defense and special defense is still a better choice, because on average, all that HP is worthless and you will take a ton of damage, since your defense and special defense will not really stop you from losing that massive amount of HP. Anyway, you can leave your thoughts, opinions, and answers in the comments, or you can leave them on social media. All of my social media links, as well as my Discord links, are in the video description. Now, as always, I need to be a shill for a minute. If you subscribe to the channel, and if you follow me on social media, that really helps our communities grow. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I hope I will see you all next time. So, as always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, everybody. I hope you come back someday. See you later.